Hi, welcome to Advanced English with Steve UK, and I'm Steve. Now, learning phrasal verbs can be a nightmare, can't it? Well, so my C1 and C2 students tell me. It's not surprising that they're difficult. There are so many of them and so many different meanings. What I suggest that you do is to concentrate on the most common ones. And I've produced a video with 400 of them. In this particular video, I'll deal with the first 100. I'll be publishing the remainder shortly, so do make sure that you subscribe so you'll be ready to receive news about them. A bonus for you: to download a PDF with all the phrasal verbs shown in the video, plus a transcript of the video and others I mention, use the code at the end of the video. The download link is in the description. So, let's have a look at them. Here goes. Account for. To explain the reason for something. He couldn't account for his absence at the meeting. Account for is often followed by the fact. I can't account for the fact that I've spent all my money and it's only halfway through the month. Second reason, to be a portion of something. Online sales account for 50% of our total revenue. My rent accounts for 80% of my income. Add up, to make sense or be logical. His story just doesn't add up. When the police questioned him, they were highly suspicious because his story about his whereabouts didn't add up. To calculate a total. Can you add up these numbers for me? Could I borrow your calculator, please? I just can't add up these numbers to make them right. Agree with. To have the same opinion as someone. I completely agree with your point. I'm sorry, I don't agree with anything that you said. To suit or be good for someone. Spicy food doesn't agree with me. I wish I hadn't had that fish last night. It really didn't agree with me. To allow for, to take into consideration. We need to allow for possible delays due to traffic. Please allow for the icy roads when you're driving. To make provision for something. The budget allows for additional expenses. When you're budgeting for the holiday, remember to allow for excess baggage. We may have to pay for it. To ask after, to inquire about someone's health or well-being. He asked after you when we met. I asked after Susan, but no one's heard from her for ages. Be after, to want or try to get something. The police are after the suspect. I'm after a book I read once, but I don't seem to be able to find it anywhere. To seek or chase. I'm bored with my job. I'm after a new one. The police are after the man who broke into the post office. be against, to oppose something. I'm against the new policy. I'm not against your proposal, but I do think we need to take care. To be in conflict with. The evidence is against him. He's always complaining that everyone's against him. Be behind someone to support. If you've set your heart on going to drama school, I'm behind you all the way. I miss my dad. He was always behind me in whatever I did. To be behind something, to be the reason for causing something. He never used to be like this. I think his new girlfriend is behind his attitude. I think perhaps his childhood is behind the way he behaves today. Be behind with, to be late with something. I'm behind with paying my rent. I'm behind with answering my emails. Be in for, to expect or be about to experience something. We're in for a long night. It looks like we're in for a storm. Look at those dark clouds. To be due to receive something. She's in for a big surprise. This is often used when it's something negative. He's in for a shock when he starts work next week. He's used to lying around doing nothing. To be into. To be interested in something. He's really into jazz music. I've never been into horror movies. I find them a bit silly. To be involved in something. She joined an amateur dramatic society. She's really into acting. I'm involved in a campaign to prevent knife crime. Be over, to recover from something. She's not over her divorce yet. I've had flu and I'm not really over it yet. To be finished. You're too late. The programme's over. The match was disastrous. By the time it was over, they'd scored 5 goals. We'd scored none. Be out of. To have no more of something. We're out of milk. Could you go to the shop and get some, please? I don't know what to do. I'm out of ideas. To be absent. He's out of town. I was out when she called by. Be up to be doing something. What are you up to? He's joined a gang and they're up to no good. To be capable of doing something. He's up to the task. I don't really feel up to this. I don't think I'm qualified. Bear out, to confirm or support something. The evidence bears out his story. Oh, I can bear out what he said. I was with him at the time. Bear with, to be patient or forbearing. Bear with me, please. I'll be with you in a moment. Bear with him if he doesn't always respond. He's a bit deaf, I'm afraid. Break up, to stop an argument or fight. They'd have come to blows if I hadn't stepped in and broken it up. Break it up, you two. There's no need for either of you to be so angry. To break up with, to separate. My parents broke up when I was little. I don't think their marriage will survive. I think they'll break up. To end a relationship with someone. Rachel is heartbroken. Tom's broken up with her. Why did I break up with her? She had an affair with my best friend. Bring along, to take someone or something with you. You can bring along a friend if you like. Or why don't you bring along one of those nice cakes you bake? To help someone improve. His teacher has really brought him along. He couldn't speak any English when he arrived in the country, but his school friends are bringing him along. To bring forward, to do something earlier than originally planned. The meeting has been brought forward to Monday. If you bring it forward, I won't be able to come. I'm on holiday that week. To propose or suggest. She brought forward a new idea. When he brought forward the idea that we should continue the meeting in the pub, everyone agreed. Bring up, to introduce something or a topic into conversation. I wish you wouldn't always bring up how things were better in the old days. Oh, please don't bring up that again. You're always talking about it. To be sick. I'm worried about my little girl. She keeps bringing up her food. I shouldn't have had that fish last night. I think I'm going to bring it up. Call back. To return someone's phone call or to return to see someone. Sorry, I'm busy right now. I'll call you back later. Sorry, I didn't realise you had visitors. I'll call back later. To call in, to visit somewhere. I must call in the opticians and book an eye test. I must call in to see my granddad tomorrow. It's his birthday. To tell someone to come inside. David, please call the kids in. It's their bedtime. To call up. To phone someone. I'll call up Jane and see if she knows. The shower's not working again. I'll have to call up the plumber. To catch up. To spend time doing tasks you should have done and are behind with. I must catch up on my housework. There's dust everywhere. I must catch up with my emails. I'm so behind. To meet with a friend to share news. We must get together and catch up on things. We also say, let's have a catch up, as a phrasal noun. Come across, to present oneself in a certain manner. Marcus always comes across as being very friendly. She doesn't say much. She comes across as being very shy. To find or meet someone or something by chance. Guess what? I came across Maria in town. I came across a beautiful painting when I was in town. I think I may go back and buy it. Come along, to arrive or appear. A taxi came along just as we were leaving. I didn't expect her to come along with him. I thought they weren't speaking anymore. To improve or make progress. Her piano playing has come along nicely. His English has come along very well. He's obviously been studying quite a lot. Come back, to physically return. I'll come back later when you're less busy. He went out for a walk, but came back very soon as it started raining. To come back to return to a previous topic. Coming back to what you said about him earlier, I think you're right. Can we come back to that later, one more time? Come down, to reduce or decline. The price of that car in the showroom has come down. They say that inflation's coming down, but I can't see evidence of it. Prices are still high. Come down with, to have or start an illness. I can't stop sneezing. I hope I'm not coming down with a cold. I'm sorry Martha can't come to Sarah's party. I'm afraid she's come down with chicken pox. Come forward, to offer help or information. Several witnesses have come forward. The man came forward to help me as I struggled with my suitcase. To present oneself. She came forward to accept the award. The teacher asked who'd broken the window, and the boy came forward to admit that he'd done it. Come in, to enter. Oh, Jack, it's you. Oh, great to see you. Please come in. Make yourself at home. Come in for, to be the subject of something, to receive something often unpleasant. The government has come in for a lot of criticism for its new tax policies. She comes in for a lot of sarcastic comments because of the way she dresses. Come into, to inherit or receive money. Jack has come into a lot of money. I think his uncle left it to him in his will. He's just bought a brand new Porsche. He must have come into money. Come off, to happen as planned. The party came off without a hitch. You could also use went off here. The party went off without a hitch. To be successful. His plan didn't come off as expected. You've put a lot of preparation into it, so I hope your presentation comes off well. Come on, to develop or improve. She's coming on very well in her studies. She's coming on slowly with her violin lessons. She really doesn't practice enough. To start to work or function. The heating came on as soon as it got cold. My laptop won't come on. I think it probably needs a new battery. Come out. To leave a place or appear. She came out of the meeting in disgust. She came out into the pouring rain and opened her umbrella. Come out with. To say something unexpected or surprising. Sarah, usually so reserved, came out with a rude remark about the boss. Everyone was so surprised. To produce or introduce a product or idea. The car manufacturer came out with a new model last year. The company's come out with a new chocolate flavoured cereal to appeal to kids. Not very healthy, really. Come over to visit for a short time. My parents-in-law are coming over for lunch tomorrow. Can't say I'm looking forward to it. Come over when you're free. I'll see if I can help you. To suddenly start feeling something. I came over dizzy and had to sit down. I'm not sure what came over me, but I suddenly felt very sick. Come over to change one's mind and agree to something or support something. And the more I thought about it, the more I came over to his point of view. No matter how much you try to persuade me, I'm not coming over to your way of thinking. Come round to regain consciousness. She fainted, but soon came round. The blow to the head knocked the boxer out. Fortunately, he soon came round. To visit someone. Come round for dinner sometime. You'll have to come round one day. It would be lovely to see you again. Come through to survive a difficult situation. She came through the surgery just fine. They asked him a lot of difficult questions, but he came through the interview well. To provide something promised. He finally came through with the money. I'm not sure I trust him. I hope he comes through with his side of the bargain. Count on. To rely on someone or something. You can count on me to help. No, don't count on him. He promises everything but never sticks to his promises. To expect something. We're counting on good weather for the trip. I'm counting on getting a pay increase next month. Cut down, to reduce in size or amount. I've decided to cut down on sugar. His wife told him to cut down on his office hours and spend more time with the family. To fell a tree. They had to cut down the old oak tree. Cutting down vast areas of the Amazon rainforest has not been good for the environment. Deal with, to handle or manage a situation. I have to deal with a lot of emails every day. I'm glad my boss is leaving. I've always found it hard to deal with him. To do business with. We deal with several suppliers. We've decided not to deal with them anymore. They never pay their bills. Die down, to decrease in intensity. The storm finally died down. The loud music our neighbours were playing died down after I banged on the wall. To become less active or noisy. Very similar to the previous one. The laughter died down after a while. His enthusiasm for gambling died down as he never won any money. Dig up, to find or discover something. The journalist dug up some interesting information. There was a scandal when the reporter dug up details of her previous life. To break the ground into small pieces. Of course, this is the literal meaning. The lawn is full of weeds. I'm going to dig it up and plant vegetables. I'm not looking forward to digging up that patch of land. The ground is rock solid. Do away with, to eliminate. We should do away with outdated regulations. To do away with can also mean kill. The gangster did away with his rival. I don't think you'll be using that. To get rid of. They want to do away with uniforms at school. We should do away with that junk in the garage. It takes up so much space. Do up, to fasten or close. Do up your coat. It's cold outside. You need to do up your shirt again. You missed a button. Looks ridiculous. To renovate or redecorate. They're doing up their old house. This weekend I'm going to do up the car. See if we can get a better price for it when we sell it. Do without, to manage without something. We'll have to do without a car for a while. Don't buy any more chocolate. We can do without it. It's expensive, and anyway, I'm putting on weight. To forgo. She can't do without coffee in the morning. I could never do without music in my life. Dress up, to wear formal or fancy clothes. She likes to dress up for special occasions. There's an idiom with dress up. All dressed up and nowhere to go. The party's been cancelled. Dress up also means to disguise or adorn. They dressed up as superheroes for the party. Children love dressing up. It's a favourite game when you're little. Drop in, to visit unexpectedly. She dropped in to see her old friends. It's been great seeing you. Do drop in again when you're in this area. To stop by. The same meaning really. I might drop in on you tomorrow. Can you drop into the chemist and buy me some paracetamol? Drop out. To quit a class, school or programme. He dropped out of college last year. I can't afford to go on the holiday with you all. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to drop out. To withdraw from something. She's dropped out of the race due to injury. Both meanings are very similar, just slightly different contexts. Eat out. To dine at a restaurant. We decided to eat out tonight. I feel too tired to eat out. Let's just order a takeaway. I fancy Chinese. End up. To finally be in a particular place or situation. We ended up staying at a hotel. It's your fault. You spent all our money on that stupid investment. Now we've ended up broke. To result in something. She ended up getting the job. Due to his constant abuse, she killed him. Fall apart. To break into pieces. The chair fell apart after years of use. That car's not safe to drive. Just look at it. It's falling apart. To experience emotional breakdown. She fell apart after the news. He loves her so much. He'll fall apart if she leaves him. To fall back on. To rely on something when other things fail. We had to fall back on our savings. Well, until the television's repaired, we'll have to fall back on listening to the radio. To use as a backup. She has teaching to fall back on if acting doesn't work out. If I lose my job, I don't know what I'll fall back on. I've been there for 30 years. I know nothing else. I hope you found the video useful and enjoyed it. There's a lot to take in, isn't there? That's another phrasal verb, to take in. And we'll be coming on to that later in the final section of the 400 phrasal verbs. As I said, remember to subscribe so that you'll be reminded to watch the other ones. I'll be producing a course about phrasal verbs, which will have a lot more detail, and that will be available quite soon. So again, watch out for that. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and bye for now. See ya.